Hello and welcome to another episode of Driver Dudes. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the dip beam bulb on a Citroën C4 from 2007. Okay, so usually on the Citroën C4 from this year, you'd have some sort of plastic panel that would be here. You know, it'd probably be fixed here, here and here by either poppers or screws and Torx bits. But when I bought the car, it was missing, so I guess it saves me some time. Now, once you have this panel removed in your car, if you have it, you want to just go down here, so follow me down here. Okay, so the next step is remove this rubber cover here. Okay, it's got a little tab on it, so it makes it nice and easy. You just pull it and just place it out of the way. And next step, you'll see the plug on the back of the bulb. Okay, so you want to try and get your hand in here, and sorry if I end up, blocking you. And you want to just get a firm grip on it and just pull it out towards the hole. Sometimes it can be a little bit tight, they can kind of work their way on, and you just take it out. Okay, so on my particular C4, I know from experience, it's polarity safe, so it doesn't matter which order you put the bulb in on these connectors. It just seems to work for some reason, probably maybe on some sort of circuit, but you just want to be careful with your particular C4 in case this is not the same. The next you'll see, after you just place that wire out of the way, of course, you'll see that there's a metal retaining clip in there. Okay, I'm not sure if you see it or not. And next is try to remove that. Sometimes this can be a little bit tricky. You want to push in and push to either side to get it loose, and then you'll feel when it starts to get loose which way it goes and pull it down. You'll learn this from experience, or if you can poke your head in and have a look. So I don't quite remember how this goes, so both of us are working together on this one. Okay, I just had a look, I managed to get it, so I pulled it to my left, which would be to your right, and it just came down. So you'll see the little clip just floating down there, and it's out of the way. Next step is to remove the bulb, and at this point, you don't even have to wear gloves, it doesn't matter because the bulb is blown. Maybe you can see in the video here that the little, connection is broken inside the little coil. I'm sure I'll just kind of bring that in closer to the camera. If you can see it there, it's blown. So just place that to one side. You don't want to put it in your pocket in case it breaks. And in case you wonder what I'm doing out of shot here, is I'm just getting the replacement bulb. This is just a very cheap bulb that I bought, from a website that begins with E and ends with Bay. It doesn't even have a make on it. But what you want to do, if you can see the bulb here, is there is a little tab on the top of the bulb. You can see it. And this always has to be facing up when you put it into the headlight, otherwise it won't fit. So I'm going to try and place it in now. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. And sometimes, what I like to do is I like to lean it back around the front of the car and see it kind of going in to the bulb holder. And you'll eventually feel it when it sits in. It'll sit in just fine by itself, almost not needing the retaining clip, but just for safety. We'll place it back on, and you can push it in the opposite way it came out. And unlike me, try to not get your glove stuck in the retaining clip. So push it a bit, get your glove out, make sure the retaining clip is good and tight. Mine was not because the glove was stopping it. So push it in and it'll find its way back into the hook. You see the little hook there if you look in. So that clip is back on, nice and secure. Just want to double check it because I don't want to keep doing this over and over again. And the clip is back on, so hopefully you can see that. Next step is put your plug back on. I don't know if you can see it in the shot here. Like I said, it doesn't really matter what order you put it in on my car, but just to keep the wires straight and not being tangled or twisted, it's going to place it on pretty much the way it wants to go on. Slide it on to the clips. Because you're doing this blind and just by feel, sometimes it can just take a moment or so, but just be patient, it'll be okay. And I got mine caught in the glove again. Maybe, unlike me, wear some tighter gloves so you don't keep getting your finger caught in it. Okay, it's back on, hopefully. And maybe you can see that it's back on again. And just before we put the cap back on, let's just test it. So if you follow me over here to the front of the car, on my particular key, you can see I have a little light button. So if it hasn't gone into economy mode, it should light up. And it does. Put the plastic cover back on again, just to stop the moisture from going into the light. Just make sure it's well seated. You don't want it falling off while you're driving around. I'm sure you could buy a replacement, but why buy a replacement if you can just put it back on properly? You can refit your panel here. So you just place it back down, put the clips back in here and here and here. I assume, I don't know, I don't have the panel. And to do the other side of the car, you just remove this panel here with this clip. You just slide it up and out of the way. Pull the cap back off here and do exactly the same thing I just showed you, but on this side. Once that's done, you place your panel back on again, and you see these little tabs here. You make sure that they seat into this panel, and it clips back in, so that's nice and secure. So that's it. That's how you replace the dip beam bulb on a 2007 Citroën C4. And this probably applies for the 04 to 10 model, the Mark 1 C4. So thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to share, subscribe and like Driveway Dudes.